Hello learners, I welcome you all to the 52nd lecture of this course International Investment Law and the Environment, and the 52nd lecture is going to focus on fair and equitable treatment in the context of when an environmental regulatory measure is challenged. You might be wondering, we had already discussed about fair and equitable treatment in the 4th week of the course. So, in the 4th week, we discussed about the concept of fair and equitable treatment, and I am going to discuss a little more detail of how fair and equitable treatment question has been looked at when an environmental regulatory measure is challenged in this lecture and in this video and in the subsequent videos. Why is, if you look at why fair and equitable treatment, a substantive provision, is something that has been inserted when we were discussing about certain interpretative methods. We were talking about applicable law, we were talking about principle of systemic interpretation, we were talking about the doctrine of margin of appreciation, proportionality test, and then principle of good faith. Why is a substantive protection being spoken about here? The reason being, most often, principle of good faith has been invoked in investment dispute as a tenet of fair and equitable treatment. So, therefore, it made sense to talk about principle of good faith because that is essentially invoked in order to see whether the host state has enacted the regulatory measure for the protection of the environment in a good faith or with a malified intention. So, that again gets challenged as a violation of FET clause as well, and given the increasing number of cases where FET violation has been claimed, it only made sense for me to discuss the same in brief at this juncture of our course. Now, FET claim is one of the most popular claims that you would see in all the cases that we discussed in the 6th week, 7th week and 8th week. There has been a claim by the claimant that FET clause was violated, fair and equitable treatment clause was violated. In the 4th week of the course itself, you've understood, about the debate with regard to what amounts to fair and equitable treatment. Does it amount to minimum standard of treatment under customary international, or is it an autonomous treaty standard? So, that you are already aware of. So, what we are going to see here is, in some of the cases that we discussed in 6th, 7th and 8th week, how did the investor claim a violation of FET clause? How the investor is easily able to challenge an environmental regulatory measure by saying that it violated a substantive standard, which is fair and equitable treatment. And not just that, I also wanted to talk about when, at least in the context of NAFTA, when regulatory measures, especially environmental regulatory measures, were challenged, we could see that the host state engaged in some sort of a strategy. For instance, during the pendency of Methanex case, FTC Free Trade Commission came out with an interpretation clarifying the scope of FET clause. Then we started seeing one more practice wherein the investors started using MFN clause to borrow a favorable FET clause from some other treaty. So, that is what makes it pertinent for us to understand the evolution of FET jurisprudence, especially when FET clause was invoked as a violation. I mean, when FET clause is invoked by the investor and FET clause is violated because of an environmental regulatory measure. So, that is why we are going to discuss the jurisprudence of FET clause in the context of a challenge to environmental regulatory measure in this particular lecture. So, in the next lecture, we will look at the cases, ST Myers case, TechMed case and all of that. We look at the case specific context of FET clause to further build on this particular discussion, that is how are FET clause invoked as a challenge to environmental regulatory measure. Thank you.